9 o'clock on the dot. We're following some breaking news out of Chandler. Police are investigating an attack involving a police officer on Chandler Boulevard near 56th Street and the I-10.
Police giving an update just a short time ago, and this is now confirmed, a deadly shooting. We know the officer in this situation getting attacked. One of the suspects is dead.
Well, fortunately, that officer involved is going to be okay. But Kylie, the big question, we don't know if that deadly bullet actually came from that police officer's gun.
You know, they do believe that it came from that officer's gun, but they are still waiting for a positive confirmation. But all signs point to the responding officer firing that shot. A lot to unpack here as we are live on the scene. This is in Chandler, just east of the I-10, right at Chandler Boulevard. You can see a large area blocked off. We've got several agencies here. So this all happened a little before 7 this morning, and that is when one officer, he was around this area. We believe that he was checking. There was a car parked with a woman and a man in there. And then a few minutes later, a distress call comes out, and that is where Detective Seth Tyler will fill us in. And things really escalated, and they escalated very quickly.
Yeah, they did. So the officer checked out with the vehicle about 3 minutes before 7 o'clock on the east side of the Hampton Inn at 7333 West Detroit, which is only about a block north of Chandler Boulevard. At 1 minute after 7 was the distress call. So multiple officers are getting here. A couple of officers arrived simultaneously, but they arrived at the officer's vehicle. They could not find him, so they fanned out, and an officer located the vehicle that he checked out with, which is a white Toyota Prius, just south of the hotel in a drainage ditch. The officer arriving officer found the original officer completely inside the vehicle. He had a male and a female on top of him. It does not sound like there was a struggle. It sounds that there was an active struggle. It sounds more like it may have been the result of the collision. It looks like it was a pretty significant collision that the vehicle made with a block wall. And the officer was conscious when the arriving officer contacted him. He was able to extract him from the vehicle. The additional officers arrived on scene. They pulled out a male and they pulled out a female. The female was conscious, the male was not, and he was also not breathing, so our officers began CPR until the fire department arrived on scene. They took over, and he was transported to the hospital. He was pronounced deceased a little bit before 8 o'clock. It was discovered he has at least one gunshot wound. So we are treating this as an officer-involved shooting. We have not discovered any additional weapons other than the officer's weapon, but there's a lot of questions that we have. So. Extremely dynamic incident, there are just a lot of moving parts with this, so it's going to take some time to kind of connect the dots and find out exactly what happened.
And the big question is we don't know why the officer kind of was checking up on this couple to begin with.
Right. And, you know, as we were saying before off camera, it's not unusual for an officer to make a subject stop or make a stop on a vehicle, especially, you know, we're kind of in an industrial mixed use kind of area. You know, we do have burglaries and vehicle burglaries, and you know, we have criminal activity that occurs out here. So that in and of itself is not too unusual. But one of the things that we will look into is any potential history with these individuals, any potential history with this vehicle or the location as well.
Okay, we know that you guys are going to be busy today. You definitely have your work cut out for you, and we, of course, will keep checking in with you for updates. Sure. But again, live here on the scene, we know one officer, again, hurt. He was transported to a hospital. He should be okay. We don't know his name or how long he has been with the force. We should get that information a little bit later. We know that one suspect, a man, died during this incident, and then one woman sustained some minor injuries. So we're going to continue to stay on top of the story, guys, throughout the morning and really throughout the day as we kind of uncover what happened here in Chandler early this morning.